Rally Italia Sardinia more than left its mark on the WRC competitors this season. Welcome to this video. This is my review for the 2025 edition of Rally Italia Sardinia, the 22nd edition of the event. Let's get into it. And to start off, that mirror that Ogier Tanak must have broken just after winning his 2019 World Championship. The bad luck must be up sometime soon, right? Because this is the second rally in a row that he's lost to Seb Ogier by less than 10 seconds. Not only that, but in addition to this being the second rally in a row where that's happened, it's the second rally in a row where you could argue that the win wasn't Tanak's fault. I mean, I would say that Portugal's was more spectacular, where he just outright lost power steering. But a puncher here in Sardinia, yeah, it just seems like rotten luck. I mean, Ogier is still one of the best rally drivers out there right now, and one of the best to have ever done it. But his victories these last two events have come more from looking after the car, from car control, from not giving it 100%. Compared to it being an out-and-out battle on outright pace for the win. Elsewhere, there were only 3 other Rally 1s that didn't have to Super Rally to make it to the end, so let's talk about them, because they're 3 other Toyotas. Color of Impera, who was just making it through quite comfortably, bagged a few points, and actually made a lot of ground up that he would have lost from the 3rd place finish over the course of the Super Sunday, where he picked up the Power Stage win as well as the fastest on the Super Sunday, so leaves it with 25 points. In fact, he gets very close to what Ogier had. Does he? No, he doesn't score more than Tanak, but no, he does, doesn't he? He does, because Tanak only gets 24. So, proof again. Colour was just doing what he needed to do. I would say the same for Elfyn Evans. That 5 minutes off the lead doesn't actually commend what Evans did. Given that he lost time through the puncher, predominantly, he just knew he had to keep it on the road. If the outright pace isn't there, why bother? Elf can save that outright pace for Estonia, and Finland, and Chile, and possibly Paraguay. He's still at the front of the championship, and we'll get to a championship update later on, but he's just doing what needs to be done. Likewise, Taki Katsuta, who, in addition to a puncher, had a roll at one point, had a stall, went off into a field, I think, right? 7.5 minutes off of the win, but still bags points. He's not scoring manufacturer's points at this event because Ogier is, but compared to the rest of this season so far for Taka, he's now had 2 rounds in a row where he's gotten exactly the same points haul. 3 finishes in a row. A 4th and 2 fifths. He is doing what he needs to do, and he's doing it quite commendably and dependably at the moment too. And actually, I'm going to talk about the rest of Rally 1 runners, but I'm going to start off by saying in that last section I missed Sami Pairi, who dropped to 7th for the overall standings, had to complete one of the stages on Sunday in road mode. But more experience again for the young Finn. Elsewhere, there were some drivers that made it to the end without super rallying, like Jordan Zerderidis, but just, yeah, he's not known to having had to super rally, but he's a gentleman driver. These drivers make the backbone of the sport that we love, but at the same time, he's not in the title battle. Drivers who are our full season drivers that have had to super rally instead, well, we had Thierry Neuville, we had Adrien Fourmeau. Both of them having different kinds of offs on Saturday. then Greg Munster and Josh McAlean, who both crashed on Friday. And it's strange for all four of them. It's slightly similar but slightly different. Munster and McAlean are trying to get experience in this event. It's Munster's second time here in a Rally 1 car, McAlean's first. But it didn't really go according to plan. Both of them clipping something the right rear and just being out. Was it stage 2? Same one that took out Martin Tesk, so we'll talk about it in a minute. Neuville struggled as well, but Bourmeau had a puncher and then a roll. And I did mention at the same time Martin Tesk. What a high-speed crash. It was great that him and Renald Francis got out okay. But yeah, the damage to that Puma. It's almost as intense as Bourmeau's back in 2022, Monte Carlo. Now let's talk about the Rally 2s. I'm going to start off with the top 2 Rally 2 cars that did not actually score any points for the championship. Well, they did in the World Championship because they got into the top 10. Oliver Solberg in 6th, Nikolai Gryajan in 8th place, either side of Sami Pairi. Solberg is just trying to go out and show that even on events where he's not competing, he will still compete for an RC2 win. And why not? I mean, it helped Adrien Fourmeau out. The win with the upgraded Fiesta Rally 2 on CER in 2023 helped secure his drive for 2024, which has helped him into Hyundai this year. Gryajan has a similar kind of thing, though also he's doing lots of research for Skoda at the same time. You could argue that Solberg's doing the same for Toyota with the Prince Sport outfit. But the winner of WRC2 won by 6 seconds, and they were in 3rd place in the RC2s. They were in 9th place overall. Well done to Roberto Dapra. Now, Dapra is somebody who has had commendable results before, most notably in the ERC. But it's great to see the Italian winning the home rally. And right behind him, rounding out the podium in WRC2, wow. It's none other than Kajtan Gajdanovic and Martin Prokop. 2 people that I said to put your money on at the start of the weekend, and they both ended up on the podium. I was following it early on when Russell was leading. And I was like, Prokop's in 2nd. That was exactly what I expected. I expected to see him performing really well over the course of the weekend. I expected to see Gajdanovic do the same. I didn't expect to see the issues for Russell, the broken steering arm, but yeah, I mean, he'd been up at the front as well, and he'd been at point leading, if not up at the top, got a couple of places at WRC2 until having to super rally. But this rough gravel rally means that it can throw the championship wide open. What happened to Russell there undoes the damage that happened to Solberg in the Safari, for example. Other drivers can pick up some good points. For example, 4th place in WRC2, Jan Solens. Or Romain Jurgensen in 5th. Larry Unit, Robert Verbeij, Pablo Sarrazin, Yuki Yamamoto getting some points for the Toyota Gazoo Racing. I think he's entered for points, isn't he, on this one? Or am I am wrong. He could have been. It's a shame for the Toyota Gazoo Racing Next Gen team. Because, yeah, Sarrazin, then Giovanni Trentin, and Diego Dominguez Jr. It's good for Dominguez. 2 minutes penalty, but wouldn't have affected the finishing position. And it's the kind of points that he needs, because Dominguez, if you aren't aware, is competing in the WRC2, WRC3, and JWRC with a 13-round calendar. So, yeah, it's good for the Paraguayan before his home rally to start to get some points on the board in the RC2 class. As for WRC3, Matteo Fontana ended up taking the win over Nathaniel Brun. It was 24.5 seconds at the end, and the advantage was halved on the final stage of the rally. But the two of them were largely unaffected by other events in the category. Graham Gazaz had to Super Rally at one point, whilst Martinez Rosaldi and Timo Weigert both made it to the end of the event under their own steam. Weigert in the Clio nearly behind Gazaz, who did Super Rally. But, yeah, ended up with 5 RC3s at the end. And then as for the RC4, Al-Bonandi ended up making it to the end, and so did Giovanni Di Luigi, but had to Super Rally to do so. But let's talk about the championship standings, shall we? Elfyn Evans still leads the title on 133 points now after this event. Seb Ogier is up to second. The second year in a row that he climbs up to second. He's on 114. Carlo Raffaele on 113. Ogier Tanak in fourth on 108. And then it's quite a while back to Nerville on 83, nearly 2 rallies behind Elfyn Evans. Then it's Katsuta on 63, Formo on 44, Pyrie on 31, Munster on 18, and McAlane on 12. Just behind Josh McAlane is Oliver Solberg, who is on 11 points this season. And, I mean, we could have a discussion about that at another time, but it is strange to see that, right? It's commendable the performances he's doing in the WRC2. I mean, Gus Greensmith only has 1 point score in the WRC category this season, but it was 8 points in the Safari, so he's still in 12th. So Solberg, if anything, has just jumped Greensmith there. But yeah, it's still a good lead for Elfyn Evans. Ogier, it's going to start another debate, isn't it? Should Ogier do another attempt at the title? But given the top 3 are all Toyotas, I think if suddenly there was an absolute mare in the Acropolis and Tanak, which could happen, jumped up into the lead of the championship, I think they would consider it. Because Ogier has again missed 2 rounds. He has not done a third of the season so far. We are at round 6. He skipped Sweden. He skipped the Safari. But of the 4 rallies he's done this season, his worst finish was in Isla Canaria. And what was that worst finish? Remind me. Wasn't it second place? It was second place. To a obviously dominant Carlo Raffaele, who was very much kind of channeling his Seb Loeb Corsica, 2004? Was it 2004, 2005 where Loeb won every stage? But, yeah. Just absolutely amazing. Part-time driver. He's done 4 events. He's won 3 of them. It means in the Manufacturers' Championship, if we end up pulling that one up, Toyota are on 312, Hyundai are on 243, Ford are on 87, and the Pyrie second Toyota team is on 48. In WRC2, we'll quickly touch on that actually. Johan Russell is now on 67 points to Oliver Solberg's 60. The difference is that Russell now has 4 nominated events to his name, where Solberg only has 3. So that's 7 points, and that 1 round buffer, it's gone. Dapra, with the win, has now done 4 of the rounds as well. Actually, funnily enough, the same 4 nominated rounds that Johan Russell has done. The gap is big, it is 18 points, but it's third of the championship now for Dapra, whilst Greensmith with 2 point scores is on 40 points. In fact, looking at this, you could probably say that in terms of championship stature and championship picture, Gus Greensmith's in the best position right now. He wasn't in Sardinia because he was off getting married, and congratulations to him. But yeah, it's potentially going to bode well for the Skoda driver in the championship. Then in WRC3, Fontana takes the lead with the win here in Sardinia. Taylor Gill is still in second place, but is only doing the JWRC. So with 2 wins from 2 events, it's 50 points to Fontana's 59. Ospellemorg is in 3rd place on 42 points. Kiro Kazaz is in 4th place on 37 points. Then Giovanni Rossi is in 5th place with 36 points. Anyways, that is that from this video. Thank you so much for watching and joining, folks. If you have any thoughts, do let me know in the comment section down below. We're going into an ERC weekend next weekend, aren't we? Rally Poland. Just let me know any thoughts or feelings you have for that as well in the comment section down below. Or do stay tuned, hit the bell for daily motorsport videos. And until next time, it's bye for now.